going, guys? Josue back again with another video. I'm gonna check out this case here. So my mom got the Moto Z2 Force, highly recommended by me, by the way. She was actually coming from a Moto. She's coming from the first generation turbo, Joy Turbo, which was still working great. Battery wasn't as good, but Motorola their phones do last for quite a bit of time. I've seen people have Motorola phones for almost like 10 years, you know. Still sometimes see people walking around with the first Moto X. So, you know, even though Motorola is owned by Lenovo now, their devices are still very beautiful, very well built, very tough. So we're gonna look over this case here. So of course, when it comes to the Moto Z, you know, this is the Moto Z2 Force. Did not get a lot of praise by reviewers because of the price and things like that. And of course, the screen itself is very easy to scratch. That's why it's highly recommended you get a screen protector for it. But it's a beautiful, fast phone. You know, my friend has it and he loves it. The camera is beautiful. Both cameras are beautiful. One thing I always like about Motorola is even though their front camera is a 5 megapixel, they still have some of the best front cameras out there. And I can't wait till they up the megapixels, but still, megapixels aren't everything. But yeah. The thing about this one is the mods. The mods are crucial. You know, it's all about the mods. The Moto Z. You got the style mod here, projector mod here, speaker mod, battery mod. So when you're getting a case for this phone, it's good to get a case that will work with the mods, you know? So this is what this is. For the first Moto Z, it's kind of hard getting a bumper case, unless from Verizon. But we're going to check out this one by casewe. Casewe. I don't know how you really pronounce that, but this is their mission. They provide high quality cases and accessories for your phone. They are always doing their best to extend the boundaries of style and technology for the ultimate mobile experience, to give customers the best product for the best price. So let's see what we got here. We're gonna open it. This is the case that it comes in. I mean the package that it comes in. I think. There we go. Alright, so this is the case here. Very simple. Does not feel cheap at all. I actually really like it. It feels very sturdy, so it should give you a good amount of protection. So the thing about the Moto Z2 Force here, what you're mainly worried about, since the screen is shatterproof, 222, I like that. Since the screen is shatterproof, get the screen protector for it, of course, to protect it from the scratches, and the bumper case will protect it from the sides, and then you have the freedom of, you know, having protection, but also being able to use it with the mods. So let's see how easy this goes on. There we go. It was a little tough getting on, but maybe I should have went from the back side, but there it goes on the phone here. So of course adds a little bit, makes the phone a little bit wider, but not too much. I'll give you guys a side view of the case. Right there, right there. The buttons are, making sure it's all in there. So power button is clicky, as you can see. So, which on this phone you're not gonna be using the power button that much. So buttons are very clicky. Just make sure like the case is very well put in. So there you go. That's what it looks like with the case. And next thing we do is test out the mods. I'll definitely say it could be a little bit better in terms of the feel on the side. It feels a little bit loose over here where the buttons are, but that could be just me. Maybe it's not snapped on the whole way. I'll let you guys know how it feels. Does it work with the mods? That's the most important part right there. Does it work with the mods?
I compare it to a zoo for human beings.
That's my other YouTube channel, by the way.
Are not good. Like if you look at the animals there, they exhibit terrible behaviors.
If you are into spirituality, you know, self-improvement, definitely feel free to check that out.
You go into the city and you see social beings,
social beings, humans. You see them, right? They don't even say hi to each other. There's no eye contact. Everybody's got their headphones in. They got the noise canceling ones at that, so they're not hearing nothing. They're in their own little world the whole time. So never knowing what's going on. And this is it with the projector mod. Looks like a beast of a thing, huh? They're a little heavy, you know, but you're not gonna keep the mods on at all times, but it does in fact yeah, there you go. So there you go, you got the projector mod right there. So this is awesome, you know. This is, I think, in my opinion, if you're gonna get this phone, you need a case like this. Otherwise, you know, you kind of lose a lot of functionality with it. Then you end up having to take the cases on and off. This is what it looks like with the battery mod. Very sleek. Still pretty easy to use, one-handed, and all that. So yeah, so it does in fact work. Getting the mods off, it does kind of block where you usually take the mods off here, but if you got a little bit some nails, just get your nail in there, pull it out. And usually most of you guys probably will be using it with the style mod. The style mod though, I think maybe when you put it in, you have to start kind of do it like this. There we go. So you heard that click. So that is what it looks like with the style mod. So there you go, the bumper case by casewe. I'm gonna call it casewe or casewe. But like I said, the only downside, I feel like over here on this side, it's not fully in. So let me take the case off real quick. Yeah, that's another downside too. Getting these off, the bottom here kind of just gets in the way of just being able to get your finger underneath the mod. So that's why we do reviews, right? So they're a little bit hard to take the mods off with this. That's really the only downside of, and as well as this is a little flimsy here. But so yeah, I did take the case off and I put it back on, and it's still, as you can see, there's a little bit of give here. It doesn't affect the phone too much, except for the power button. The volume buttons, I usually can still get them to, you know, to go down in one click. But the power button though, I have to push down a little bit further. It's not the biggest issue because with this phone, you'll be using your fingerprint sensor to unlock and lock the phone, so it's not the biggest issue. But that is a little bit of a downside. I'll go into Amazon to see if anyone else is having this issue, and I'll update it to see if it is like a issue for all the cases, or maybe I just got a defective one. So I'll let you guys know, and I'll add that information around here somewhere in the video. But yeah, and the other thing is, some of the mods are a little bit harder to take off with this case. Specifically this mod here, the Style Shell mod, because it's the slimmest one. This one's not as hard because you can see the mod itself on this one has that lip at the bottom, so you can actually just put your fingernail in there under there and take it off. Same with the speaker mod. There's a big lip. You know, you have this over here. Let's see if I can get this to you have that lip under here, so you can easily lift that one up. So most of them are easy to take off, as long as they have that lip. But when they don't have that little, you know, when they don't have this underneath it, because this is raised a little bit. This one doesn't have that. That's why this one's the hardest to take off. So hardest to take off and hardest to put on, as you can see. See that it's not fully on right now. I have to actually push it down a little bit, go from the top actually. So that'll be the review for this case. I really like it, other than those two things. Like I said, I'll go see if anybody else is having those issues, but definitely I highly recommend a bumper case for this phone. That way you get to use the mods, you get the protection. It's shatterproof, so you don't really need like a big bulky case. Just something to absorb some of the, you know, like shock absorption, Because yes, it's a shatterproof screen, but if you drop this enough without a case, eventually the internals might get damaged. So that's why our bumper case is pretty dope for a phone like this. So let me know what you think about the case. Do you have this case? Are you having the same issue as me? Are you using a different case, and is it better? Would you recommend it? If so, hit me up in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.